Hey, it's Dalton from Daltonian CF Reviews, and today we're going to take a look at the figure I've been wanting to get for quite a while, and finally was able to get a good deal for him. And it's the Classics Mirage. And I've got to say right out off the bat that I absolutely love this figure. You know, I've been wanting to get him since for the past like 4 or 5 years now. But finally managed to get him for a decent price, and you know what? I just picked him up. And right out of the box, like I said, he is really great. A lot better than I had come to imagine. Well, not really imagine, but you know what I expected. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and look at some details. Now, first of all, this I don't know how this blue is coming off on here, but from what I'm seeing on the camera, it's kind of coming off as a bright blue, but it's actually kind of a dark, kind of a, I guess you'd say, royal blue, I think. And then here on the cockpit, it's kind of a turquoise color. And it's also got some of these sponsors, and I'm going to go over them. But you got number 26 here, which is a reference to the original Mirage figure where he had the number 26 all over him. First thing you can see here is Witwicky Spark Plugs, which is a play on the name Sparkplug Witwicky, who was Spike's father in the original animated series. And then here on the side you've got FP Racing, which, if you think about it, this figure came around about the same time that FunPub took over for the Collectors Club and BotCon. So I guess you can speculate that being Fun Publications Racing or something like that. Then here you've got, let me zoom in here, Plasma Injection Energy, which in the episode The Rebirth we find out about the plasma energy chamber, and that's what this is kind of playing off of. Another thing taken from the 86, I guess, movie was this right here, Lithonian Drivetrain. Lithon was the planet that Unicron ate in the original series, or in the original movie, the first planet that he ate. Now, there have been a couple of repaints of this guy, and I know that there have, I think, been a couple of knockoffs. You've got, of course, this one, the Henkei version, the BotCon 2007, I guess you'd call him the Invisible Mirage, where it was just all translucent blue plastic. Then the Takara did their own, which was kind of a black and white translucent plastic. I think that one was the one I was knocked off the most. And then in the 2007 movie, it was repainted as a GoBots homage named Fracture, which is, again, an homage to a GoBots character named Crasher. And then in, well, last year, 2013, he was repainted again for the souvenir figures at the Machine Wars set. So yeah, this guy has had a fair use of repaints throughout the past 7 years that he's been around. So yeah, actually a little bit more than 7 years, about 10 years now. Yeah, 10 years. So a little bit longer than I expected, but anyways. As you can see, rolls really nice, has very little clearance for the type of car that he is. Formula 1 race car. He's got his rub symbol right here, which I don't know if it's going to work right now or not. Yep, there we go. Now to start off transformation, you want to just pop this piece off here. Let's set that off to the side. Go ahead and bring these down flat. Grab the sides here, or mainly the tires, and back here. Bring this up like that, and down. Then you can split it, and there you've got his legs. You untab these little hooks right here from this little circular piece. Rotate that whole piece around. Go ahead and flip this up for now. Rotate up the camera. Want to rotate these out. These will become his arms. And just unfold them. Whoops. Unfold those. Pop the shoulders. Make sure those are out of the way. Let's go ahead and rotate these up. Just like this. You'll see why right here. Flip this down. Now right off the bat, You want to be careful when transforming this guy. I've seen some pictures to where this whole thing has just been broken to where these will just flop around separately. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're transforming them, to be careful of this. Probably just hold it both sides as you rotate down, instead of just grabbing one trying to force it down. Go ahead and rotate it down, just like that. Then you take this part here that was front of the car, bring this down, and that'll form his chest and head. Go ahead and flip out his hands, just like that. There we go. Let's get him stood up right here. Now you've got Mirage in his robot mode, and I've got to say, again, I absolutely love this. This has got to be one of my favorite original classic molds from 2004 to 2005, as far as the deluxe figures go. Him and the Starscream mold are my two favorites of the deluxes, and Optimus is my favorite of the Voyagers. So, takes care of that. You can take the little front part of the car here, and you can see the little peg hole there. Now, this peg is, I assume, a 4mm peg because it'll fit in Rodimus's hand. But no other weapon will fit in Mirage's hand except for Rodimus's, so I'm assuming this is a 4mm peg. But I'll go ahead and put it in this hand, just like that. There you've got his box. Says it's his Electro Disruptor weapon. Sorry for my tongue not working there. But yeah, you can see it's just like a little pistol type thing, but it's actually looks more like a crossbow. You can see the little dot there, I guess, to form the barrel. But if you got the Fans Project set, you would have gotten this little accessory here, which, you see that little tab inside there? It just goes inside the wheel. You just put this in at sort of an angle like this, and tab it in, or squeeze it in, and there you go. You got Mirage with his shoulder cannon. And usually when I'm displaying him, until I can afford the little Shapeways, there's a little rifle for him on Shapeways that I'm thinking about getting. You can put this little tab that went for in here in vehicle mode, and you know, if you don't like the slenderness of him, you can plug this in. I guess you can fill that out. Just adds a little bit more thickness to him. I don't really mind this thinness to him at all. I just take this and tab it right up on the top edge of this roof scoop, just like that, and pull it up like that to where you don't really see it except for the little blue corners right here, which, you know, doesn't bug me again, and kind of fills out more of his back, I guess, gives him more of that little backpack look, instead of having just this whole thing shooting off at that angle. Alright, enough with my rambling. Let's get on to articulation. Head is on a little swivel down here, so we can kind of, I guess, let's go ahead and take this off. You can bob his head, and the head is actually on a ball joint, so you can rotate it around. The only thing is, when you rotate it, it has this weird angle to it. It's just kind of weird. It doesn't bother me too much though. Shoulders kind of have this little shrugging action, I guess. They rotate up like that. But they've got a ball joint right in here. It's nice and tight, rotates 360. You got a swivel here at the bicep. Bends at the elbow. Give me one moment here real quick. Alright, sorry about that. Rotates 360 at the waist. It's got hip joint. Hips are on a ball joint. They rotate forward, back. They get hindered by this little hip piece, which just moves up and down. It's on its little hinge. Bends at the knee, and he's got this little joint here for transformation, but I guess you can consider it a second knee. No thigh swivel, unfortunately. But it's an older figure. You gotta separate. Yeah. Feet don't really have a lot. They've got this little hinge here along with a ball joint, and you can see this one's really loose. This one, it's alright. You can still get them in some pretty decent poses, mainly because of the whole angling front of the feet and everything. But that's pretty much it. A pose I like to keep them in is just kind of like that. So, yep, that's pretty much it. My Classics Mirage. Great figure. If you can find them for a good deal, I recommend you get them, or any of the other incarnations of this mold. Just, you know, a really great mold out of the Classics line, and I couldn't recommend a better one to get, you know, that I've had. But that's pretty much it. This has been Dalton at Daltonian CF Reviews, and I'll see you guys in my next video.